The Gateway Conspiracy, the hidden war for human consciousness. Unlock the secrets the CIA tried to bury. Discover The Gateway Conspiracy, the hidden war for human consciousness on Amazon, and take the first step toward breaking free from the illusion. Dive into the hidden world of covert operations and mind control and find out what they don't want you to know.
What if your mind was the final battleground? What if reality, as you know it, was a carefully constructed illusion? Gateway Conspiracy, the hidden war for human consciousness. What if everything you know about reality was carefully constructed to keep you blind to the truth? For centuries, those in power have worked tirelessly to control human consciousness, not through brute force, but through perception manipulation, psychological warfare, and digital control systems. The Gateway process was one of the most groundbreaking and heavily classified projects ever undertaken by U.S. intelligence agencies. It wasn't about weapons, espionage, or traditional warfare. It was about consciousness itself. The discovery? The human mind has the power to operate beyond time and space, access hidden dimensions, and even shape reality itself. But this revelation was never meant for the public. Instead, the knowledge was classified, buried, and distorted. The truth is simple. Whoever controls consciousness controls reality. And that is why the war for your mind has never been more urgent. This book is not just an investigation into declassified CIA programs. It is an expose on the greatest conspiracy of all time, the suppression of human potential. Inside, you will uncover the truth about the Gateway process, how hemisync technology was used to unlock expanded states of consciousness and why it was classified for decades, how the government weaponized consciousness, the hidden history of MK Ultra, Project Stargate, and the CIA's psychic spy programs, the rise of AI and thought control, how artificial intelligence, predictive algorithms, and social engineering are being used to manipulate human perception in real time, the role of fear and mind suppression, how governments, media, and corporate elites use fear-based programming to keep populations in a lower state of awareness, how to break free from the system, a step-by-step breakdown of the Gateway process, and how it can be used to unlock your full potential, resist programming, and reclaim your mind. This is more than a book, a guide to escape the illusion, a blueprint for those ready to step beyond the system. Are you ready to break free? Publishing Zombie.
What if your mind was the final battleground? What if reality, as you know it, was a carefully constructed illusion? In 1983, a highly classified report was buried deep within the archives of the Central Intelligence Agency. It wasn't about weapons, spies, or warfare in the conventional sense. Instead, it was about something far more powerful: consciousness itself. This document, known as the Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, explored a revolutionary method that could unlock altered states of awareness, allowing the human mind to transcend the limits of time, space, and perception. It was called the Gateway Process, and it was classified for a reason. In the late 20th century, a man named Robert Monroe made an astonishing discovery. He wasn't a scientist. He was a broadcasting executive. But his research would lay the foundation for one of the most controversial and secretive programs ever studied by US intelligence. It started with sound. Monroe found that by playing slightly different frequencies in each ear, the brain would create a third frequency, a phenomenon known as binaural beats. This method, later called hemisync, could synchronize the brain's hemispheres, triggering profound altered states of consciousness. At first, Monroe believed his work could simply help with relaxation, focus, and sleep. But what he found went much further. Subjects began reporting out-of-body experiences, visions of distant locations, and even encounters with entities beyond human comprehension. It wasn't long before the US government took notice, and that's when everything changed. The gateway process wasn't just another meditation technique, it was a gateway, not just to altered states, but to a reality where consciousness itself could be weaponized. The CIA had already been running mind control experiments for decades under MK-Ultra. They had explored hypnosis, LSD, and behavioral modification to control human perception. But Monroe's discoveries offered something more. A non-chemical, scientifically proven method to unlock the true power of the mind. That's when Project Stargate was born, a top-secret military program designed to train operatives in remote viewing, allowing them to gather intelligence from anywhere in the world without ever leaving a secure room. These were not theories. These were military-grade psychic spies, and the results terrifying. The human brain operates at different frequencies depending on its state. Beta waves, normal waking consciousness, logic, reasoning, alpha waves, relaxed alertness, deep focus. Theta waves, the gateway to altered consciousness, deep intuition and non-physical perception. Delta waves, the sleep state, subconscious access and possibly telepathic communication. Hemisync could push the brain beyond its normal limitations, and that's what made it so valuable to intelligence agencies. The gateway process was structured in phases. Focus 10, the first stage of mind awake, body asleep. A crucial shift where the conscious mind separates from physical sensations. Focus 12, a state of expanded awareness where intuition and perception become heightened. Focus 15, the point where time becomes irrelevant. Subjects report seeing past and future events. Focus 21, the edge of reality itself, where the non-physical realms begin. For those who mastered the gateway process, the limits of human perception were no longer fixed. They could transcend time. They could see beyond the five senses. They could access information that should not be accessible. The implications were staggering. In 1983, a classified CIA assessment of the gateway process was conducted. It confirmed something shocking. The report stated that reality itself is not fixed, that consciousness can manipulate space-time. The implications were staggering. If human perception could be trained to operate outside of time and space, if consciousness was not bound by the physical body, then what else were we capable of? That's when the suppression began. Monroe's work was absorbed into classified military programs. The gateway process was buried under national security protocols, and then page 25 disappeared. A single page of the declassified document was removed from public access. What was on page 25? Did the CIA confirm the ability to see the future? Did they discover something too dangerous for the public to know? Or was it something even darker? The answer remains hidden, but one thing is certain. They never wanted you to find out. If the gateway process was real, if reality itself is shaped by consciousness, then why have we been conditioned to ignore it? The war for your mind is not fought with guns or armies. It is fought with distraction, suppression, control. The ultimate battle is not for land, wealth or power. It is for your perception of reality. And that battle is happening right now. The gateway process was never meant for public knowledge. When the CIA's 1983 analysis and assessment of the gateway process surfaced, it wasn't just a scientific report, it was a roadmap to unlocking human consciousness. And that terrified those in power. If the human mind could perceive beyond time and space, what would that mean for the illusion of control? If perception could be manipulated at will, who would hold the power to shape reality? If people understood that their thoughts create their experience, could the entire system collapse? The answer was obvious. This knowledge had to be suppressed, distorted, or erased entirely. The gateway process wasn't just about meditation. It was the ultimate tool for self-liberation. And self-liberation is the greatest threat to the system. Those in control understand the mind better than you do. Instead of teaching you how to expand your awareness, they've spent decades perfecting the art of limiting it. MKUltra, the CIA's notorious mind control experiments. Predictive programming, movies and media that condition perception before events occur. Mass distraction, social media, entertainment and endless stimulation designed to keep people disconnected from deeper thought. While you were told that consciousness exploration was pseudoscience, they were perfecting techniques to hijack your perception. The truth is simple. They don't want you to unlock your mind. They want to control it. In the past, control was enforced through propaganda. Today, it's done through algorithms. AI systems now predict, influence, and manipulate human behavior with extreme precision. Social media algorithms shape reality by curating what you see and what you don't. News cycles are designed to induce emotional responses: fear, outrage, submission. AI-driven content learns from your reactions, repeating the process until your perception is fully programmed. This isn't hypothetical. Cambridge Analytica proved how elections could be manipulated through AI-driven psychological warfare. Google search biases dictate what information is real and what is conspiracy. YouTube and social platforms suppress alternative perspectives, labeling them as misinformation. This isn't just about technology, this is AI-driven perception warfare, and the goal is to prevent you from ever questioning reality. Fear is the oldest and most effective tool for mind control. When people are afraid, they stop thinking critically, seek external authority for protection, and become more suggestible to programming. Fear is what keeps people locked in a controlled state of consciousness. The gateway process, however, proves one thing: the mind is not bound by fear. In Focus 10, the state of mind awake, body asleep, fear loses its grip. In Focus 12, where intuition is heightened, clarity destroys manipulation. In Focus 15, where time dissolves, fear of the future becomes irrelevant. This is why they don't want you practicing consciousness expansion, because the moment you stop operating in fear, you become uncontrollable. There's a reason why governments and corporations have invested billions in AI, neuromarketing, and social engineering. They understand that whoever controls perception controls reality. The gateway process teaches that reality is shaped by consciousness. If enough people believe in limitations, those limitations become real. If enough people fear the future, their energy fuels the outcome they dread. If enough people awaken to their full potential, the system loses its power. This is why consciousness itself has become the new battlefield. The war isn't being fought with bombs and bullets. It's being fought with information, manipulation, and engineered belief systems. And right now, the war is being won by those who understand the mind better than you do. But what if the system could be hacked? What if the same knowledge that was buried could be used to break free? The gateway process isn't just a relic of Cold War experiments. It is a guide for reclaiming the mind. Through hemisync and brainwave training, the mechanisms of control begin to collapse. AI-driven algorithms lose their grip. Fear-based programming dissolves. Consciousness is no longer dictated by external forces. The process is simple, but the challenge is consistency. The world is designed to pull you away from inner stillness, to keep you distracted, to keep you reactive instead of aware. But the moment you take back control of your mind, you exit the illusion. And that is what they fear the most. The war for your mind isn't coming, it's already here. Every thought you have, every reaction you make, every belief you accept without questioning, that is the battlefield. And the ultimate weapon isn't technology, it's awareness. The gateway process is a map to consciousness freedom, but only if you choose to use it. So, the question is, Will you remain in the illusion, or will you wake up? You've seen the system for what it is, a prison of perception, engineered through fear, distraction and digital control. But what if the way out has always been within you? The gateway process was never about government experiments or classified documents. It was about mastering your own mind, and that's why it was buried. Because once you know how to think for yourself, no one else can do it for you. The gateway process isn't just theory, it's a practice, a structured method to unlock awareness, perception, and control over your own reality. Here's how it works. Step 1, learning to quiet the mind through hemisync. The world is designed for noise. Inner silence is the first act of rebellion. Hemisync helps the brain enter deep meditative states faster than traditional methods. Step 2, training the brain to reach altered states on command. The more often you enter focus 10, the easier it becomes to control your mental state. No more reactivity, only awareness. Step 3, using focus 10 and focus 12 to heighten intuition. Patterns become clearer, deception becomes obvious, reality becomes malleable. Step 4, exploring out-of-body perception in focus 15. Perceiving beyond time and space dissolves the illusion of limits. Step 5, breaking the time illusion in focus 21. If time is an illusion, then control through fear collapses. The elite use this knowledge for power. Now you use it for freedom. AI is not more intelligent than you. It is only better trained. Trained to predict your reactions. Trained to influence your perception. Trained to make you believe you're powerless. The gateway process reverses that programming. By training the brain to operate in deeper states, you become unpredictable to AI-driven control systems, unaffected by psychological manipulation, resistant to fear-based programming. In short, you become the glitch in the system, and the system does not know how to handle a mind that thinks for itself. The greatest secret of the gateway process? You are already shaping your reality, but without awareness, that power is hijacked. When you stop reacting and start choosing, reality bends in your favor. That is self-programming. This is what the elite use: intention to shape their outcomes, emotion to amplify their reality, focus to dictate what becomes real. They've kept this knowledge hidden. Now, you reclaim it. This is not about theory. This is about application. Test the system, practice hemisync, observe reality shifting as you expand consciousness, break free from reactive thinking. This is not an experiment, it's a new way of being. And the moment you commit to it, you step outside the illusion. The future is not AI. The future is human consciousness. The gateway process is the next step. It has always been about the mind, and the more people awaken, the less control the system holds. This is why they fight so hard to keep you asleep, because once the illusion shatters, there is no going back. The war for your mind is real. The illusion of control is crumbling. But in the end, no one can wake you up. You must choose to wake yourself. Will you stay in the illusion, or will you step beyond it? The gateway is open. The choice is yours.
To be continued. Don't miss the next chapter. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Like, share and follow to stay updated. There's much more to uncover.
Publishing Zombie, indie publishing for rebellious readers.